has to put her bonnet and her cap on and climb in bed and trick Little Red Riding Hood. That was written in 16th century Europe. Did you know that? Out of that ignorant mindset. So when our European ancestors came over to settle our continent, they brought many generations of ancestral hatred with them. And did you know that once hundreds of thousands of wolves roamed in every single state in the lower 48? Did you guys know that? Even including Florida. Excuse me, if you were to come across the Canadian border down and across about 80% of our country was gray wolf habitat. The gray wolf is the main species of wolf and the largest, and you're going to be meeting some awesome gray wolves here today. So gray wolf lived across about 80% of our country, taking a slice out of the southeastern part of our country, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, and parts of eastern Texas was the red wolf habitat, and then the remaining part of our country was the Mexican gray wolf, which is a subspecies from the gray wolf. But when our European ancestors came over and began to settle our continent, and the ecosystems were disturbed and wolves here began to predate on their livestock, the annihilation of wolves out of the lower 48 began. It's one of the saddest stories and parts of our history. But the long story short is that by the time 1973-75 time frame rolled around and the Endangered Species Act was drawn up and implemented, and wolves and other species finally came under that umbrella of protection, it was really too late for wolves because they were all gone. Did you know that? All annihilated out. The only ones that survived were one small colony up in Minnesota, on the Canadian border in Minnesota by the Great Lakes area. And today it's only legal for wolves to live and roam freely in a few states in the Northeast and the Northwest. In the Northeast, it's Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and in the Northwest, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming. Now, there is a red wolf recovery program going on in North Carolina, and a Mexican gray wolf recovery program going on in Arizona and parts of New Mexico. But those are not states that are wide open for wolves to roam freely in. Those are closed structure programs. So today, wolves still face an uncertain future in the lower 48 in Alaska. They've never been, a lot of them are being hunted and killed and so forth. So today on the tour, we hope that as you go on this exciting journey that you will learn some things about wolves that you didn't know before, and you can see this amazing species up close and personal. In order for us to have this very rare experience, there are some very, very strict rules that come into play, guys. Because this is such a rare opportunity, and Wayne and myself have gone to such great lengths. This is Mr. Wayne right over here. He's the real hero of this work. But there are some very, very strict rules, and we ask you to please, please respect and comply, because this affords you the rare opportunity to go in and have this incredible experience. We cannot take anything extra in there with us because they're so quick and fast and smart. Everything's a toy. They're so playful, and they're just looking for new things to play with. So we cannot take anything extra into the enclosures with us. No sunglasses. We're going to be in the shade today, and we won't be needing any sunglasses. We do not allow cell phones or digital cameras inside of the enclosures. This is a very, very strict rule. So we ask you, we're going to give you a moment to go and place your items into the car. We cannot take anything in around our waist, and if you go in with a hoodie on, you're going to have to put the hoodie up onto your head. Okay, guys? And so nothing extra in our pockets that when we bend over, it's going to fall out onto the ground. And this is to protect your personal belongings and our wolves. Now, we do allow disposable cameras in the enclosure. We're going to have a lot of fun with our disposable cameras. But guys, you have to listen up about this. As you can imagine, a wolf has a very powerful jaw, about 1,500 pounds of pressure per square inch. They love to snitch these cameras. If they cut down on these cameras, you've lost your camera. But more importantly, this plastic can splinter into sharp shards. The wolves can swallow it, and it can perforate their intestines. We've either got a dead wolf or thousands of dollars worth of vet bills trying to save its life. So here's the point. You've got to find a pocket to park your disposable camera down in, a deep pocket. It stays in the pocket until you get ready to take a picture. You bring it out, take your picture, have fun with it. It goes back into your pocket. You can't stand around with it in your hand, or if we're sitting on the ground, you can't lay it in your lap. So this is very, very important that you find, excuse me, a deep pocket to put your camera in.